Unique stories that define our state's character. Here's Kevin Mackey with this week's Montana Moment, brought to you by Montana Chevy Dealers.
Western Montana farmers and ranchers are busy irrigating. They're watering their crops to prepare for harvest this summer and fall. It's important to keep the head to ensure conditions are as moist as possible before July and August heat. More than a century ago, Victor pioneers built a dam to store water for those dog days of summer. Today, Big Creek Dam is still providing water and its users are still maintaining it. Kevin Mackey has our Montana Moment.
Big Creek roars from Big Creek Lake from the Bitterroot-Selway Wilderness area to the valley floor near Victor. Snowmelt has filled it almost to capacity, a rite of spring that goes back millennia. This water is precious.
Water is so critical. We only get about 12 inches of rainfall a year, so the water, flood water and sprinkled water is really critical.
During high water, Brian Langton wastes no time getting water to thirsty pastures. Big Creek has irrigated the Langton Ranch for 135 years. In high summer, water from the creek starts drying up.
According to Lewis and Clark's journals, this was a savanna, which means that it was a dry grassland. So without the water that we receive from Big Creek Lake, it would return to a dry grassland.
That's why 120 years ago, Langton's ancestors and their neighbors built a dam to store water, and the Big Creek Lake Association was formed.
I've been involved with the Big Creek Lake Association since I was a teenager. Two great-grandparents were charter members, Alex Duffield and Abe Mittauer, and then my grandfather and my dad and myself. And so I've been involved a long time.
From an aged journal, Kurt Voss reads the names of some of those original association members.
Louis LaCour, William Cole, W.R. Gavin.
There were 21 of them. It was 1905, and they had one purpose in mind.
There was a need for lands that had been developed for agriculture and for stock purposes to be able to get a source of supply of water during the very, very dry parts of the latter part of the summer.
Reserved water from the dam is released when high water is depleted. Association members own water shares.
Our shareholders pay $10 a share for stored water, and that stored water is released about the 1st of August each year, and it takes 4 to 6 weeks for it to be consumed.
That's enough to take landowners through the season before cooler weather and fall rain set in. It was the premise that led the original association members to collectively scrape together funds to construct the dam. The old Curlew silver mine at the mouth of Big Creek Canyon played a big part in its construction. Needing water power, the mine asked association members for permission to use Big Creek Lake water in exchange for increasing capacity at the lake.
So they helped us to build a new dam, and they diverted the water and ran it through a water wheel at the Curlew mine to turn their concentrator, and then they returned it to the creek so we could use it for irrigation.
By 1906, the government had given the ranchers, with the miners' help, the go-ahead to build the dam. It was an exercise in community. Everybody went to work.
Here you have a group of farmers and ranchers in the early 1900s who took it upon themselves to improve their lot by raising funds, building a dam, and maintaining a works that provided a lifeline.
It was a rock crib dam, so it had a log front and a log back and rocks, granite boulders in the middle.
In all those years, new generations continued to maintain the dam. Crews access the dam on foot or by horse and mule on a 10-mile trail. Pack strings have always been essential in getting the work done. Even after the area was designated wilderness in the 1960s and a new dam was built in the 70s.
What they set in place is something that was sustainable.
When we come back, building the new dam and the challenges of water use in contemporary times.
We're seeing rain tonight and into tomorrow, but just when are we going to see a dry out? Coming up here in just a few minutes, I have your 7-day forecast for you.
Get Montana weather updates right to your email inbox. Go to NBCMontana.com/newsletter to sign up. Be weather ready with severe weather alert team updates on all your devices. Register now at NBCMontana.com/newsletter.
The Big Creek Dam has been delivering late summer water to much of the Victor community for 120 years. As it moves forward, its association is working to ensure its sustainability. Kevin Mackey continues our Montana Moment.
Gretchen Langton is president of the Big Creek Lakes Reservoir Association. She brought together 4 other association members, including her father, Brian, to tell stories of the dam. She says the dam not only provides late summer irrigation for landowners, it also provides recreation, recharges wells, and helps fish habitat.
Because we're able to store water, we have one of the only drainages that still puts water into the Bitterroot River in the late season. So we're actually helping to provide water for fishing in the Bitterroot River in August.
Our water stays there until about the 1st of September, so it provides a lot of recreational opportunities.
As years went by, the Forest Service condemned the original Rock Crib Dam.
The Forest Service believed that this dam was in danger of imminent being breached when the dam was only 20 years old, that it needed to be replaced.
They said that we needed to build a concrete dam.
It was 70 years before the association was in a position to replace the dam.
We applied for some cost sharing, and then each member in our association had to pay a fee to help pay the cost of the dam.
The contractors working on this commented on how well this dam was originally constructed and how sturdy it was.
They built that to last, and it was there for 70 years.
Because it was now a wilderness area, crews had to obtain special permission to bring motorized equipment in.
And we had to get approval to take helicopters in. Frontier West Construction built the dam for us in about 1977. The dam is 90 feet long, 15 feet high, and about a foot wide.
During construction of the new dam, association member Jim Clark was in charge of getting the concrete into the helicopter buckets so the pilot could take it to crews working on the dam.
We would fill the one bucket, hook up the chain, and in 15 minutes he was at the dam.
It was faster and more efficient than bringing in supplies by pack string.
We had 2 big cargo nets at my ranch, and we laid 2x6s and plywood, chainsaws, and he'd come right down to the ranch, come down and pick up that load and take it to the dam.
Once the concrete dam was completed, the farmers and ranchers still had to maintain it. And because it was in a wilderness area, crews were still only allowed to use hand tools. Eventually, the association was granted a special use permit to utilize power tools for a limited time during maintenance season.
So for a number of years, we were restricted to using only hand tools. And it was very, very difficult to do the work, to get a good job done on cleaning up the lake. They allowed us to use the chainsaws, and it's worked very well since then.
Remember, water from the dam is only released when Big Creek goes dry in late summer. Only landowners who own lake shares are entitled to that water.
Big Creek right now has a tough enough time supplying all of the lake shares that it has. That is not going to increase.
As the valley grows, with more farms and ranches being broken into smaller pieces, the association faces challenges. Where there were originally 21 water users, today that number has quadrupled. Shareholders are responsible for maintaining the ditches that deliver their water, but some landowners are confused about water ownership.
You have to own lake shares, and they have a hard time understanding I got this nice, beautiful ditch going across my 10 acres, but that doesn't mean that you're entitled to that water.
Jim says some landowners who don't have shares are taking that water. In dry years especially, there's only so much water to be had. The association says educating landowners is the best way to ensure everybody gets at least some water. So everybody benefits.
You have generations of people who have made it their business and their purpose to be able to continue to provide water supply. And without it, we would not be able to have the life and the quality of life that we all enjoy here.
Kay Bucher Neal's family continues to ranch on the same Victor homestead she grew up on.
I never had a bicycle. but I had a horse. And boy, could I ride the horse.
Big Creek Lake, she says, is special for anyone who goes up there.
I've never seen anything so precious like this. I was up there many, many times. There were many times that I walked up there, too. You know, and once you get up there, you hardly ever want to come back down.
Kay says the association will keep going. It's a big thing, she says. It's important. Kevin Mackey, NBC, Montana.
If you want to watch this story again, or if you missed one of my previous stories, you can watch every Montana